What's up, it's Heria. Welcome to another vlog. Today I'm going to be showing you how to unlock your front lever hold step by step. The front lever, like the handstand, human flag, and full planche, is one of the fundamental static exercises when it comes to mastering your body weight. And being able to hold the front lever position for time will develop an enormous amount of pulling, core, and back strength, allowing you to develop the ultimate physique while building a lot of strength and muscle. When I had first seen the front lever, it looked pretty easy to me, but when I had tried it, it was actually a lot harder than I thought. And depending on where your fitness level is currently, the front lever hold could take you a couple months or even up to a year to master. And just like the human flag, the full planche, and the handstand, without the right training regimen, without training the right progressions, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you're likely to never unlock the front lever, at least with proper form. And that's why so many people struggle with mastering this movement. So today I'll be showing you step by step the same exact routine and exercises that I use to unlock my front lever. So if you're ready to get started, all you'll need to do is download the Heria Pro app in the App Store or Google Play Store. Open up to the YouTube workout section. You should be able to find this routine. Smash the like button on this video, and we're ready to get started. Now, the front lever is an intermediate to advanced exercise, so before you start learning how to front lever, you want to make sure that you have the proper foundation and required strength so that you're able to focus on your form and technique as you're learning every progression and exercise, so you're not struggling or stressing through every exercise or progression, which will also allow you to unlock this move in the fastest amount of time possible. So to make sure you have enough strength to start learning the front lever, you first want to master the requirements. That's going to be at least 10 to 15 pull-ups with perfect form, at least a 20-second hanging L-sit hold, 15 hanging leg raises with perfect form, and at least 5 to 10 L-sit pull-ups with perfect form. If you've got all that down and you're ready to start learning the front lever with the very first progression, toes to bar. So I'm going to go for 10 reps, show you what it looks like. Basically, you're going to start off just like hanging leg raises from a dead hang position with a tight grip, core tight, and your feet tight together. Without any momentum, you want to raise your legs into an L-sit position, and you want to lean back and continue to raise your legs until your feet touch the bar. The more you're able to lean back and engage your scapulas, the easier it's going to be to get your feet to touch the bar. It's also super important that you maintain perfect form and control the movement coming back down. Core engaged, ascending as slow and controlled back to starting position. Alright, so there we have the toes to bar. Now I've actually broken down this movement, exactly how to train for it, how to unlock it step by step. You check out my video on how to toes to bar, I'll link it down below. You don't necessarily have to be extremely flexible and fold like a pancake. You can actually just stay in that L-sit position, lean back, and your feet will be able to touch the bar even if you're not that flexible. And doing it this way will actually be more beneficial for the front lever, as this is the same back and lat activation that you'll be using as we move on through the progressions. Now before moving on to the next progression, you want to be able to master the toes to bar, being able to do 10 reps consecutively with perfect form. For those of you that may be struggling to increase repetitions when learning this movement, you can always do one or a couple of them every minute on the minute for about 10 to 20 minutes. So for example, if you can only do one rep, you can do one rep every minute on the minute. And in 20 minutes, you would have done 20 reps, whereas otherwise you wouldn't have done anything or just burnt out after 2. And after training like that for some time, eventually you'll be able to do 2 every minute on the minute and so forth, increasing repetitions. So keep that in mind with every single progression that we're going to be covering with today. That's how you want to train them, especially if you could only do one or a couple reps. You also want to be training drop setting your progressions, so starting off with the hardest progression that you can do, axing that one out, and then going to an easier progression. So for the toes to bar, for example, as soon as you finish completing your reps, you can go straight into leg raises. Now getting into the next progression, we're going to be doing the tucked front lever hold. I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds, show you what it looks like. You want to get into it like you're getting into a knee raise. You want to bring your knees as high as you can, squeezing towards your chest. Drive your hips up as you lean back. And once you've raised your body completely flat and horizontal, arms straight, you want to maintain constant tension on your hands and make sure that you're not holding your breath, you're actually breathing the whole time. Alright, so there we have the tuck front lever hold, and at the end there, I extended it a little bit more just to show you that there's a more advanced way to hold it, and you can actually make it harder once it gets easier for you. And that's going to build you more strength and allow you to get closer to your front lever hold. So the tighter you are and the closer your knees are to your chest, the easier it's going to be, and the more extended your knees are and the more you're spread out, the harder it's going to be as it's applying more resistance to the exercise. And another tip I'll let you know right now, it's going to be helpful along your front lever journey, especially when you're holding the front lever, is to twist your wrists up as you grip as hard as you can. Push the bar as far away from me and rev up at the same time as I try to bring my palms to my waistline. Not everyone does it like this or uses this technique, but it's personally helped me over the years to keep my arms straight and locked out, and my body as straight as possible in a front lever hold. If you want to unlock the real front lever, that's going to be super important. You may see a lot of front levers out there on the internet, but if the arms aren't completely locked out and your body isn't in a completely straight line, then it's actually not a front lever yet. Even if it has the smallest bend in the hips, that means you're not engaging your lower back or your lats properly, and that's also not a front lever. So as we go through every single progression, it's super important that you're engaging your lats, lower back, and getting your glutes properly so that by the time we get to the front lever hold, you should know what it feels like and what it looks like to have perfect form. So before moving on, you want to make sure that you can hold the tuck front lever for at least 15 seconds with perfect form and proper engagement. Now we're ready to move on to the next progression, upside down deadlifts. I'm gonna go for 5 reps, show you what it looks like. All right, so there we have the upside down deadlift. I did the first 2 reps with full range of motion to show you that you can add the toaster bar into this movement and make it harder. But if you're just getting started, I want you to do them like how I finished the rest of the reps, not going all the way back down, and conserve your energy so that you can really focus on the main portion of this movement. So getting into this move actually starts at the top of a toaster bar. Once your toes have reached the bar, with no momentum, maintaining perfect form, you want to push your hips through and up while squeezing your glutes and your grip, keeping your arms straight. You want to be thinking of the motion of a deadlift. As you start driving your hips in and lengthening your body out, you want to make sure that the bar rides along your body the whole entire time. The further away your body becomes from the bar as you're raising, the more gravity is going to want to just tear you back down. So make sure that you're staying close and tight to the bar as you raise your hips up and coming into a perfectly straight inverted line upside down. And as you reach the top, getting into that straight line, do not get lazy. You want to feel your body pressing against the bar and you want to feel those hips driving through. That's the same activation that's going to be required to hold your front lever. So it's very important now that you start mastering that. So as you start to come back down, you can start leading with your hips first, bring your feet back down to the bar, and then drive right back up. Once you've mastered this move, you've made some significant progress and you're actually halfway to mastering your front lever hold. You want to be able to do this for at least 10 reps consecutively with perfect form, and then you're ready for the next progression. And that's going to be front lever drops, the most important progression to mastering and unlocking your front lever hold. So I'm going to do it with one leg first, show you what that looks like, and then do it with 2 legs. As I mentioned before, in the upside down deadlift, when you reach the top of the inverted position, you want to make sure that you push and thrust your hips all the way through. And that's where this progression begins. You're not going to descend or drop down until your hips have been all the way pushed through. That's going to help you maintain your form in your straight line. Don't forget, as you're doing your front lever drops, to gaze right past the pull-up bar. Don't be looking all over the place because that's going to break your form. So once you've engaged your lower back, put it into the right position. You have a strong grip, strong core, engaging your lats, constant tension in your grip and your arms, just like the tucked front lever. Then you can begin to descend nice and controlled. And no matter what, as you begin to come down, do not break that lower back engagement. At first, you're going to drop down really fast. The more you do this, the stronger you're going to get. Eventually, you're going to be able to drop down slower and slower. All right, so there we have the front lever drops. This is when you really need to make sure that you're using that perfect hip thrust, lower back engagement, and your front lever really depends on it. If you don't have that proper lower back engagement, your body is going to bend. It's not going to maintain that straight line, and you're going to be doing it wrong the whole entire time. That's why this step is the most important and most crucial step when it comes to the front lever hold. If you're trying to keep your body straight by your feet, you're always going to be neglecting that lower back area, and you're never going to have a straight line. With your lower back properly engaged, the rest of your lower body can rest on that engagement. So basically, that lower back engagement is going to allow your body to stay as a single unit line. And that's why you should practice this with a single leg first. That's going to alleviate some of the weight and get you closer to dropping down slower and slower. Once you can do it for 6 reps on each leg consecutively, then you can start training it with both of your legs together. This was actually the way I first unlocked my front lever. I was training this exercise so diligently that eventually I just came down so slow. And when I got to the 90-degree line, I was able